We are back again, guys.
Round 2.
Round 2 because I fumbled the bag. Guys, I was a literal mabena.
You were into the conversation.
Aye. At least now I'm up to date. I'm fully locked in on the sound. Anyways, how are you today, fam?
I'm good. It's a what? It's a Monday. Is it a Monday?
I think it's a Tuesday today.
It's a Tuesday.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday today.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday. I think now because I work from home, I'm just like, I don't know which days are what.
Can you please introduce yourself to us?
So, I go by the name of... My name is Bonolo Semeri.
What was going on in your head? I feel like you had something in mind.
There was just too many things going on.
And then,
My mind opened 5 tabs at once.
at first you thought you had one, and then boom, the other four just came in
jumped
like,
in.
like we also here. Don't forget us.
Like 5 tabs open in my mind. And
So
I had to
guys,
go.
we are here today to explore the question, is June 16 just another public holiday, or does it really mean something? So I want to know from you, what does June 16 mean to you personally?
I think it's just a reminder of how far we've come as a people and how far we need to go as well in the pursuit of freedom. Yeah.
Okay, would you say that the youth of today are free?
I mean, to a certain extent, yeah, you're free to roam around the streets and do whatever you need to do. But I think it's more layered than yes or no answer. Because it takes courage to be free and be who you are as an individual and show up as that every day in the world. Because I mean, a lot of times it seems like we need to be the same thing and to be seen as compliant and as prim and proper. But we are different as human beings, and we need to explore that difference in every aspect of our lives, whether it's at work, whether it's within government itself, whether it's within your community, whether it's within your culture, your blackness. Yeah.
We need to explore.
Yeah, our freedom. Our freedom is bigger than just what we were promised, because when you get older, you realize that, I mean, it takes a lot to be free. Like, to be truly free, it takes a lot. Like, to show up as myself every day, where people are just like, maybe try to be like this, maybe try to be like that, and just like, but you can only show up as yourself, and we need to do that more as the youth, showing up as ourselves and show our individualism in the world, because I think we need more of that. Because if we show up as the same person, then you don't get variety, you don't get entertained, you don't get to learn, you don't get more knowledge, you don't get to hear different POVs. So different POVs are quite important in us building the community that we all want to be a part of. As South Africans, as Black people, as people of any community that we come from.
So what would you say is a pressure that young people today face that the older generation wouldn't fully understand? They wouldn't fully grasp that.
I think for them, I think because we grew up in such different times as to what the times are right now. The fact that you need to know a lot of things and be able to move and learn at a fast pace. I mean, today's generation, you literally like, there's a new model of something every day, whether that is the app that you're using, whether it's the new AI system, whether it's always some newness and always some, and we are always in front of the camera, it seems. So you can be recorded from anywhere, where you could be in the streets and then somebody's recording you. I think life is so different from then because we have so much access. And with this so much access comes so much many more other problems that the the people in the past didn't have. Yeah.
Okay. What is something that the people in the past had that we are losing?
I think a sense of community. I think there is less community in the past. It was very easy for you to make community and have people that you call a community. And when I say community, I mean your neighbors, the people, your aunts, your cousin, your friends, or your friend's friend who comes together to make something happen. As I now where I come from, like my grandmother's my grandmother's neighbor, we have a gate to get to next door. So that is community because we know where to go. It feels like a gate that is always open. You know, now when you visit somebody, you have to like speak in advance and say all of these things. I think, and it's the culture of the Western culture, which we are adopting now because we live in these urban areas where suburbs and things, when you lose that community of you can go next door and play with the kid from here can go next door and play with the kid from next door. But I think we need to build more on that and stop being so secluded from each other and finding common ground. And the reason it was easier for the people in the past is because they had similar problems. They had one common ground, which was like the apartheid regime or the oppression that they faced. Now there's so many multiple things that we face. Other people face poverty, unemployment, disease. It's different things for different people. And like back in the past, it was like, hey, we are all trying to win from this thing. And we are all poor and we're trying to get to this point, you know. Now it's every man for themselves. So we need to get back to having communities.
Would you say life was slower back then compared to now?
Slower in what sense?
Like for young people, in terms of like, you know, just loving, being out here. Did things take longer to happen compared to now?
Yes, I think so. I think because right now we have so many options. Like there's nothing that I cannot find on the internet, and whether it's that finding a boyfriend, finding a friend, finding things that I need or services. Things are so much convenient now, and everything is at your fingertip. I think then the reason it was so easy as well for them to create community was because they relied on each other for information. Now we just rely on this one thing. Just have your phone, you can get a lot of things done. So definitely things were a little bit slower then. I think as well how long it took them to get to a point where they find freedom because or they win the fight against, you know, the apartheid regime. Because it's for us it's easy to pull up a phone and say I'm recording this as it happens. I'm going live as it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, you can imagine the then how hard it would be to like communicate with the outside countries.
But I feel like
Other-
movies exaggerate going live.
Yeah.
What's the point of going live if no one is watching?
Yeah, but people do a lot with their life. And like, somebody is doing a lot there, then everybody comes flocking. So I think it also gets your message across quickly, because I mean, you can only imagine then where something is happening and the injustice is happening to you, but you can't say anything. You just have to tell a friend, or tell the people that you meet. Right now, you can tell a million people on the internet.
Strangers, people you don't know.
People who would even validate what you're saying, to say, yes, same thing happened to me. So it's also the community that happens online. I think we need to get it to be more on real life communities, like call a friend.
You spoke on unity, the unity back then compared to now. Would you say young people were happier with less back then?
I mean, I think yes and no. It was a difficult time. It was a bad time. It was bad time for everyone. But I think people, the youth then, are just as resilient as the youth now, because they were able to find the fun and find the joy even in those days.
When it comes to the struggle, did it make the people stronger?
I feel like, as Black people, I feel like we always have to go through something for us to be like, there's always something that we go through and we come out the other side, which I feel like it's always so unfair for us, because we're gonna come out of it because we are strong people, we're resilient people, but like, it doesn't have to happen that way. But yes, it did make everybody a little bit stronger, and hence you find the generation from then compared to the generation of now thinking that we cry at every little thing, because they have had to be strong for so long, and even some injustice is not realizing that it was injustice to them, that now when we say this is an injustice, it's like foreign to them, because they don't get it, because they had far worse things happen to them.
So for them, it's some things that we would complain about would be like, this is nothing.
Like, I walked like 100 miles to go to school barefooted.
You're just walking from Roysan to Tiro, you're complaining.
You're complaining. Calm down.
It's not that bad. It's not that deep.
I didn't have a car when I was growing up.
Ish.
So I mean, I think we just need to understand the difference, and I think for them it's just like we are just being crybabies. I think the gap is too wide for us.
So does this generation still dream? Like, do we still dream, or do we just...
There is, I think, percentages. Let me talk percentages. Like 60% is like dreams, and 40% is like knowing that you need to know somebody in high places. You need to do somebody a favor. You must pay a bribe, or whatever the case is. But we do understand, like I'm saying to you, like every now and then I'm seeing a new business emerge from somebody who's young, who's unemployed, or somebody who's employed, who's just trying to get something, to make something out of themselves. So I do still think that there is a portion of us that really dreams. I mean, if we take it back to the TikTok culture, the Amapiano culture, a lot of young people did not realize how something as small as TikTok would take you, but it takes you farther than you would have imagined. A lot of people just didn't know how they were gonna get out of situations, but just the internet, got them out of that.
What defines success in today's time for young people?
I think the freedom that money brings us.
Mm.
Go back to this freedom again, you know? It's, you know, if you don't have to think on your stomach, when you don't have to think on your stomach, you can be, your mind can work at a at a premium level. Like, you can think things through. Unlike when when you're unemployed and you have no money and you're hungry and you're just thinking on your stomach, it's very easy for you to like fall into things that are not even aligned to who you want to become as a human being. But I think the freedom, the freedom that money brings all of us, you know, the the freedom that comes with also the, because you get that freedom of money, you get to create, you get to be creative, you get to be fun, you get to be joyful.
And
because
we all want to build mama house.
yes, I mean, who doesn't who doesn't want like their parent to be proud of them, you know? Who doesn't want to be able to do things for the for the people that have done so much for them and with little that they had? I mean, the freedom that money brings to and the joy that it brings to our communities. I mean, we know a lot about black tax, but that freedom that black tax brings you when you are able to say, I am buying my father a car. I mean, no, all of us want to have that freedom to be able to think on with our brains and not our stomachs.
So for us black childs, is our biggest challenge, you know, obtaining that one moment where your parent looks at you and say, nah, son, you've outdone yourself.
I think also it's you, because I mean, the wild part about going to, like, knowing more, that more is out there. It's like you figuring out that there's places that you want to see yourself in. Whether it's like, for the longest time I'm like, I need to go to Cape Town, you know. That was a big dream for me, because I just thought it was such a beautiful space and so far from me. But as soon as you accomplish and you see what the world is doing, and you being able to do it for your parent or for your child or for your grandparent or whatever the case is, that defines to say, yeah, nah, I made it. This is success now. Because I think that's where you also find that we still dream, as much as sometimes our spirits are dampened by how we are treated by the world or whatever the case is, the corruption, or the government not doing what it's supposed to do, them taking your SARS money, but not really, you're not seeing where it's going. Because I mean, imagine as a parent, you give your child money to go to school, and then you don't see what's going on. You gotta stop paying for school fees, if they don't bring the results. Like, no, I'm done. For us, we can't even say we are done. And that's the most frustrating feeling, to say, I can't even say I'm done with you because you are the law. But like you are breaking this contract that I have with you. I have this contract with you to say, here, I give you a portion of my money and you use it to make sure that I have a livelihood. And that is like, man, and then you take away that from me because of the corruption and all of these things. And I still need to dream, which is unfair. But you know what? We wake up for another day and we try to figure it out, because the option of giving up, really, it's not there. Because, like, what is giving up? What does even giving up look like? You can give up for the day, give up for the hour, give up for the week, but you can't give up for like the rest of eternity. You know?
Do you think the youth of today are living for content instead of living for the moment?
You know, you're speaking about content. I got so upset when I was in Cape Town and my pictures didn't turn out right. But I'm realizing that, back in the day, what we would have is when a person comes to visit, your parent would take out the album where you printed all your pictures. Normally, it would be like from a trip or from school, whatever the case is, where it showcases basically memories of your life and your loved one's life. And I promise you, I think for moderation, we need to moderate, but I think it's a good thing that we are documenting now. I think it's
For free.
amazing that as Black people as well, we are documenting our stories. The important part that even when you don't think it's that much of a big deal, because like there was a point where I used to go to Pinterest and you just find a lot of white content. Now that we're creating as Black people, I go to Pinterest and I see people like me. And also because of this creating of content and memories, you get to say, I like lost my mother when I was young. I don't have a lot of pictures or memories of her. It would have been nice to have all of these memories and pictures and vlogs and whatever the case is, to look back and say, this is the person they were. We are just documenting our lives, because if we don't document, we've seen what happens when Black people don't document the history. So I'm for it. I am just like, document away, take a picture, but in moderation, guys. Don't be like reckless. This is why I say anything needs a little bit of education. That's why education is very important. Your mind has to say to you, this is wrong. I'm taking it too far. But the concept of content creation is a beautiful one. I love it. I think we should do more of it. Sometimes I go a month and I'm realizing I didn't take pictures. I'm like, oh, this is so wrong. Because how will I attest that I did all of these things that I did? Sometimes you do cool things. You're just like, I need to attest that I did cool things.
Okay.
And for a Black child also to see Black people doing cool things.
Okay. If you were to take someone from the 1980s, 70s, and just, teleport them from that time into today's time and give them a smartphone, what do you think their reaction would be?
I think they would. It won't last. I don't think they would appreciate it. Because it took us a long time to get socialized into it. I mean, there were phones that were just numbers before, then there were color phones, then you had a ringtone phone. There was an evolution. Now to take somebody from that time and just give them a phone and be like, nah. I don't think they would see a necessity for it. Because we've lived so many generations, so many years or generations of technology. It's easier for us to digest it.
But don't you think it also happened way too fast for us? I mean, it's 2026 right now. 2013, BlackBerry was it.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like there's a competition for BlackBerry.
Yeah.
2015, now everyone is here with their smaller iPhones.
And the Samsung A26.
So I just feel like, we're probably robbed of like full
experience.
Yeah, the full experience of flip phones. Like, why didn't it just stay there for like 5 years and then we change? 5 years and then we change. Now it just has to like rapidly change.
Yeah, I think it's capitalist. Because everything has to be constantly be improved. This is why I'm telling you that, like, you could have an app today. I literally have to update my iOS this evening, because there's always like a update the system, that it would take. Oh no, it's just business people being business people to say, we need to make more money off this thing.
So what do you think would happen if phones were to disappear for a day?
For a day? Yeah, at least we'd look at each other and have conversations with each other.
So would you say...
I remember the time of I don't want to say this was a good thing, because the government is looking at this, watching this. But the era of what is this, load shedding, showed us that, to say, when the whole family and the Wi-Fi is off, now we are sitting in the dark together, being angry together towards the government. That was a common goal that we all had. That was a good time. But it wasn't good when we were in it. But I think anything needs to be used in moderation, including technology.
So are they controlling us as it is? Are they controlling us, or is it helping us?
Is it helpless?
I'm saying, is it helping us or is it controlling us?
Oh. Right now, I just think we've become too lazy to think, to apply ourselves. So, yes, I do think
they're controlling us.
They're controlling us. Because if you are not reading, if you are not thinking and developing that muscle, you need to constantly create your own view outside of everything. It's all good when we hear about corruption, but can you create a view outside of everybody's view? So your own centered view, take in everybody's comments and be centered to say, okay, this is what I think as Bonolo. This is back to the individualism that I'm speaking of. Hence, I'm saying, even in when I say we must go vote, I'm saying that for yourself, do the research, take in whatever everybody's telling you, and then come up to figure out what you want. Okay, if this is important for you, if employment is important for you, and this is important for you, then vote for an organization that you think will provide that. I know politicians are lies or whatever, but what you would have done is you would have done the research for yourself. So you're not going to hear from somebody else that they promised to do 1, 2, 3. You know for yourself what they promised. You read their manifesto. Yeah. Or even ask Chat. Chat will tell you what everybody's manifesto is saying. Then make a decision for yourself, not what Chat tells you.
So has convenience made us emotionally weaker?
Wow, what? That's a loaded question. Oh my gosh. That's a loaded question, because I am for convenience. But I think you are right. Oh, wow. I have never thought of it that way. That's a loaded question. But I do think it is. I do think, sometimes, like, I don't want to deal with people. Let me just order my checkers 60/60. But also, like, dealing with people, that's how you then see where your shortfalls are. You need to deal with people to explore those emotions. You can't be in a constant all the time. It's important. There's time to be angry, to be sad, to be happy, to be angry. And also, interactions help you, mold that, to say, okay, what kind of a person am I when I'm angry? Or what kind of person am I? Or even, how do I show up in the world? I've never thought of it that way, but that is true. I will now start thinking of it differently.
Do you have hope for...
Because I love convenience. I love convenience. I am here for convenience.
It seems like I've threatened something that you stood
for. You know what? Also, the nice thing about life is that you can change your mind. And that with new information, you must be able to change your mind when new information is introduced to you. You know, you can set your mind to say you're going to do something this way, but you get to learn and get to hear other people's point of view, and then you realize, oh, okay, maybe it's not as I thought it was, because you were thinking out of one direction, then you got a different direction. This is why individualism is so important. Like, being yourself is so important. And even in rooms that are important, it's very important when you step into rooms where you think you can change a mind. You must do it. You must voice that opinion for everybody. Even if people don't change their mind there and there, right there, then they can take away, they can go with it wherever they go next, to always have that at the back of their mind. So yeah, that is important. Wow.
Okay. Do you have hope for the future of the youth of today?
I do. I do. I mean, I've been working in community development for the past 3 years, and I'm I'm really hopeful, because I mean, I don't think it's all lost. I don't think it's all lost. I think we still have a lot of things to uncover and discover within the youth that is right now. So I do think there is still a bright future ahead of all of us as a country. Yeah. And if we can just give the youth a chance, that's the other thing. I think our country became a typical African country where the president is an elderly person. And I'm not saying an elderly person can't do the job, but I don't think an elderly person must do the job where the future of the children born in the now is going to depend on their decision when they are dead. So I do think that we need to give a lot of young people, you guys, if we just gave the youth a chance to do things and run things. Ma'am, I mean, myself, I need that chance to show you something. Just let me show you something. That's just a youth that is close by to you. Just give them a chance, and then they'll show you something. I honestly do think so.
What's one thing that you tell the youth of today? If you were to give them a message right now, what would that message be?
Guys, any chance you get to go to school or to advance yourself, any chance you get to go advance yourself, educate yourself, even when things are scary for you, because sometimes it's like because nobody has done it, that you feel like you can't do it. You need to do it. You need to take the chance, whether it's in education, whether it's in advancing yourself and getting a new skill. Because as much as we complain about unemployment, I wouldn't have it any other way than to have went to a tertiary institution or learned something that is outside of the matric or the traditional school. Whether it's that you getting a trade, whether it's that you learning how to do something so that you can make money out of it, it's quite important that you take that chance. As much as we complain about unemployment, I wouldn't have it any other way than to go to school. Guys, going to school is very important. And also, please vote. This is quite important for me. You are old people, you are adults. Please vote. 4th of November 2026. I need you guys to register to vote and to go vote.
Is there any shout out you want to give to a loved one, a best friend, a boyfriend, a secret admirer, anybody you'd like to shout out to?
A shout out to Mose for doing this, because I mean, this is the prime example when I say that give young people a chance. Because if you give young people a chance, you will have things out of this world. Like you will have things that you've never thought of being thought of in a different way, in a new, fresh way. So shout out to you for this. This was amazing. This was amazing. I can't wait to see it all.
Anyone else?
No.
Your bestie's gonna watch this and be like, they gave you a chance.
I can hear Bridget.
Well, that's
Bridget.
the end. That's the end of our.
I can hear Bridget say, because we always talk about how one day will be, she will snap or I will snap, and then there will be like a documentary about how we snapped. So I'd have to make the documentary be like, yo, she kept to herself. She was so quiet.
Well, I'd like to take this time to thank you for your time. You know, all of us are busy. Everyone is doing something. And it really just means a lot that, people out there who can make time to sit down, have a conversation, and, capture stories, our own stories.
Yeah, storytelling,
for
very
our people.
important.
Who knows, someday people are going to use this for research purposes.
Yeah, I mean, what you know about that? Maybe you are changing the footprint of this area. We don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, but that is really good. This has been really good, Moseyo. It's quite inspiring. I've been in my depression era of winter.
Yeah.
Winter is so depressive for me.